There was a running bet in high school that I wasn't going to make it past 21. Just putting myself in situations where normal people don't make it out alive. And I'm not saying that I'm not normal. I'm just saying that there's been something protecting me this whole time in situations where I should have been dead.
What's up, guys? We're here for another episode of the Discipline Legacy Podcast. I got episode 1 guest. This is the first time we're doing a part 2, guys. And Paul was on the first episode. You know, he was kind of like the catalyst to kind of get this thing going. For me, I don't think he knows that, but he was. And to be able to start the Discipline Legacy Podcast, and Paul has absolutely killed. I think we're almost a year since that, like 9 months.
Just past that. I think it was like May or maybe April. We filmed the first episode. I'm not sure. It was all a blur.
It was, yeah. I mean, this last year has been crazy.
Correct.
This last year has just been an absolute, blessing. Everything about it has been amazing. I know the same thing is happening for you because I see your path and your journey.
Yeah.
And, dude, that's what we're here for, man. That's what we want to talk about today. So.
Correct. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah.
It's an honor. It's a privilege. It's for us, I think it's just a way to gauge, right? Like the first episode was wild. It was explosive, raw. We didn't really know what we were doing, right?
No.
But look at us now.
Yeah.
Right? You're almost 50 episodes in.
Yeah.
I'm coming back full circle. A lot has changed since then, and I'm excited to talk about it.
Yeah, definitely, man. So, let's just get right into it.
Yeah.
Talk about basically how everything's been going for you for the last year. I mean, we definitely dove deep. We got into kind of the reasoning of why you came to Florida, what you got going on in your life, kind of real beginning stage for you with like coming into the Bible study and stuff like that. So I know that's been real important for you is kind of dialing in your faith and getting your family on board with it. And dude, it's showing.
It is. It's showing. You almost can't. You can't deny it, right? So there's like 4 or 5 things that I would love to talk about over the course of this episode, and obviously first and foremost is faith. Since our first episode, my walk with Christ and faith has exploded. He's taken me under his wing, my family as well. My wife and I recently got baptized. It was something that I wanted to do for a long time. I just didn't want to scare my wife. I didn't want her to think I was this gung-ho, out-of-nowhere Jesus freak, and I'm an extremist, right? So once I get a hold of something or once I like something, I go full out, full bore. I don't stop. And sometimes it makes me realize that I don't necessarily like that thing, right? But I tried it 110%, and I'm like, no, it's not for me. And she's seen that. She's seen me do that multiple times in my life since she's been with me.
I think it's like the ADD or something.
It's got to be something,
I'm the
right?
Same way, like
I just
learn about it, be about it, breathe, whatever it is. Like I'm full bore, and then
I'm like, maybe it wasn't for me.
Right, I marked it off the list.
Correct.
It was something that I wanted to try.
And I did it with all my heart,
right?
Like all my effort, all my energy, and I didn't want that to be one of those things. Okay. I didn't want her to step away. So, long story short, a lady that I work with, an interior designer by the name of Corinne, super involved in the faith. She goes to this home church in Jensen Beach, right? There's like 20 people that come. Everybody brings a home-cooked meal or dessert. Nice. We fellowship, we eat, we praise, we worship, and then we go through the Word and we study it on a whiteboard. I didn't know that then. So my wife got invited by Corinne. She went by herself. And she came home, and she's like, you're absolutely going to love this place. Like, I can't believe that we haven't. Yeah. Like,
I love it.
Because to hear that from my wife was, like, bizarre. She's like, you got to come. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
She's like, but they asked me to get baptized. And I think I'm going to do it. And I'm like, just like you said, goosebumps. I'm like, what? She's like, yeah. She's like, do you want to get baptized with me? I didn't know who was going to be baptizing me. I didn't know where we were doing it. I didn't know anything. I've never met any of these people other than the lady that I worked with that invited us. And I just said, yeah, absolutely. Like 150% I'm in.
Well, I mean, go back a little bit too, because like your walk, I mean, you always said you believed in God, but your walk kind of started, when you started coming to the Bible study with me. Yes. And then and then like you were telling me like, oh, I was leaving the Bible on the table and she was reading it. And so it was like a catalyst of that, or a part of that was just you being a leader of your household and being a, you know, kingdom leader and not even knowing it really, I guess, right?
No, I didn't know. I've heard it. I didn't know what it was to actually do it, right? And it's not like this whole big crazy thing.
No, it's
right?
it's a spiritual, it's a
It's
relationship
small,
with
subtle,
God.
Exactly. It's
People
small, subtle little things
complicate it, man.
that you have to do every day, right? Discipline. Sometimes I don't want to read the word. Sometimes I wake up late. Sometimes, right? What's 5 minutes? So you're right. It was definitely a lot to do with what I was doing every morning and showing her. And then we mentioned on the last episode that her father passed away. And after her father passed away, we dove deep into the church and we started going to TC3 and rarely ever missed a Sunday. And a lot of the stuff that she said after we got baptized, she told me, she's like, God's been after me for a long time, but I misinterpreted it as my father speaking to me. She put her father on this giant pedestal, right? Rightfully so. The guy was an angel. He was one of the best dudes I've ever met in my life. So I can get it. But now that you get into the word, and he says that you don't idolize anybody on top of me, not your children, not your mother, not your father, not anybody other than me, it clicked for her. And when she told me something like that and related it back to scripture, my mind was blown. That means not only is she reading the words on the page, she's understanding them. Yeah. And it's starting to bear fruit, you know? So that was unbelievable experience. A full Sunday, all the families in Jensen Beach were on the beach. We walked out onto the beach. I got baptized by two guys I'd never even met before in my life who have now become an amazing, giant part of my life, right? I mean, like mentors in a sense. Yeah. And normally for my wife, she would have seen thousands of people on whatever. It was a lot of people on the beach. Right. She would have looked at me and she would have said, I'm not doing this. This is too much. There's no way. Mind you, she was also like 8 months pregnant at the time. You know, doesn't look like what she normally looks like, super over being pregnant, emotional, hormonal. Now she's getting baptized in front of a bunch of people she doesn't know, and she went through with it. Yeah. She went through with it, and that was a life-changing experience for both of us because we were super honest with each other. She told me what she wanted to let go, what she wanted to let go of when she came up out of that water. I told her what I wanted to let go, what I wanted Jesus to get rid of for me after I came up out of that water. And to stand in front of a bunch of people you don't know and tell your wife that the biggest thing you struggle with is lust, as a man, you feel very naked and you feel very exposed. And I felt as if I almost did the wrong thing because I didn't want her to misinterpret what I was saying. But there was any of that. She accepted it wholeheartedly. She didn't say anything back to me about it. We got baptized. It was a magical moment for the both of us. My daughter was on the beach. The people who witnessed the baptism in our church directly, but there was people coming off their beach
people that were at the beach,
clapping, jumping up and down, screaming, hooting and hollering. Like, so we drive home after that, right? And she's driving. I'm in the passenger seat. And she looks at me and she's like, so lust, huh?
But you know what, though? And real quick, because I want you to finish your story. That's something that needs to be talked about amongst men. We might not need to be talking about it with our wives or whatever, but it needs to be brought to light. It needs to be something that men talk about, and because it's real. It's a real thing that, you know, people struggle with till the day they die. Yeah. And you know, it's not that it's a struggle. It's just that we are wired a certain way to where, like, when we're younger, we're taught this as young men. Oh, women are a piece of meat. They're this, they're that. And it's like you have to unlearn that. You have to go back to your childhood, process that, and get rid of it. And it's still going to come up. Anything that you work on, like if you stop working on it for a little while, it's going to come back.
It's like, I always say, it's like that game Whack-A-Mole. Yeah. They keep popping up. You hit it. Okay, you got one. And then that one popped up and two more popped up. And you're always, you know what I mean? So true. It is true. So she turns to me and she says, so lust, right? And the words that came out of my mouth were not mine. This is this is the most honest I've ever been with my wife. Driving home after a baptism with our 2.5-year-old daughter in the back seat, right? And I told her, I said, listen, I said, it's not about like staring at women at the gym, or if I'm out somewhere and I see a good looking woman, like my wife doesn't care about that.
Right.
My wife's the first one to comment on like how good a woman's, physique is, or
My
she's
wife's
in great.
Latina. She's like, what are you looking at? I'm like, she walked right in front of me. I couldn't.
Yeah, literally. So my wife doesn't care about that. But when I told her what I meant by lust, and I'm not going to get into the details, but she understood me, and she didn't keep going. She accepted it. She was happy that I was honest with her.
Yeah.
She was happy that I broke it down, and that's it. It's been a couple months. I've never heard it again, right? Like, usually you say stuff, and you're like, oh, it's cool, and then they bring it back up.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, wait, I thought we were done with that, We're done with it. We were both brutally honest with ourselves, and came clean and whatever, and had a great conversation, and that's it. So my walk with, my walk in my faith, my came to Jesus moment or moments, because I keep having them.
Yeah.
We had dinner last night with a couple from the home church. They brought us pasta and salad and fresh sourdough bread, and we sat at our dining room table with our 2.5-year-old daughter and our 10-day-old daughter, and we don't know these people, but they cooked for us.
Yeah.
Right? Like they spent their own money, they spent their own time and their effort to come to our home on a Friday night and just want to be with us. And it's just
why wouldn't you want to go through life with people like that?
Correct.
Why wouldn't you?
Correct.
Like, that's the part. Like, and why wouldn't I want to be that person to somebody else? Like, I just, that's why I'm all in.
All in.
Yeah.
We talked about that last night after they left. We're like, how amazing is this? We've only been here for less than 2 years, and we found people. We didn't think we were going to be in this situation.
Yeah.
Right? Like, we thought we could just go through life regular, go to church every Sunday. Like, we never thought we were going to dive deep. He had other plans.
He does.
He's been chasing my wife and I for a long time, right? And it finally all came together, and that's why I mentioned on that first episode, like, moving to Florida saved my life.
Yeah.
Moving to Florida saved our family, because we wouldn't have done this in New York.
That's so powerful, man.
And
I've now, this is 3 stories of that kind of tie you back to that beach too, that Jensen Beach. So there's 3 different things that have happened that I know of that you've spoke to about me, like, and now you've got let's talk about that, man. Like,
there's gonna be 4 stories.
There's the beach cleanup event. That's your second one.
Yep.
Like, but that spot for you is just has
like unreal meaning, like a gravitational pull. That's our family spot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know why. Maybe it's the closest beach for us. It's the easiest to get to, but it doesn't matter. Like, every time we're there, something happens. You know what I mean? And that family church that we go to, that home church that we go to, could have picked any beach on the Treasure Coast. Or they have a pool in their backyard.
Right.
We could have done it in their pool. They chose to do it on our beach. They don't know that that's our beach. So the beach cleanup event, and I appreciate you bringing that up. It's something that I really want to talk about. It's something that has taken off and exceeded any expectation of mine about what it would turn into. We threw a quick one in February. You mentioned on our first episode, like, some people come into your life for a day, for a season, for forever, and you don't know why. Somebody came into my life for a real short period of time, brought up the idea, and then kind of disappeared. And I won't comment on it, but as much as I maybe have some resentment towards that individual or what have you, I gotta give the credit, right?
Yeah.
Because he brought the idea up. I executed it. The first event had like 50 people, 4 sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just ran amok. We just did whatever we wanted to do. We didn't have any game plan.
Best way to be.
Yeah.
You learn.
Right. Correct. I learned a lot. Right. And now this one, 3 months later, it's coming up on May 30th. Jensen Beach.
Yeah.
8 a.m. to 10 a.m. We're going to have Lily's Shaved Ice. We're going to have like a Puerto Rican breakfast food truck, coffee truck.
Nice.
Jesse from Precision Disposals bringing out the big rig. We're gonna have brand new porta potties. A buddy of mine opened up Lucky Portables. I mean, we have 27 sponsors.
Wow.
27 sponsors. I've only been here for less than 2 years. The fact that I can get the community and small business owners to rally behind me and an event that means something to me in that volume, it kind of just solidifies the fact that I'm doing the right thing, right? Like, you know what I mean? 100%. People understand what I'm doing.
There's purpose. There's purpose behind it, man. And you know, I think that's the biggest part for me that kind of, you know, because obviously I see everything that you got going on, man. You know, I'm definitely watching and I see that you're killing it. You from where you've come to where you are, and with business, but also as a man of God with your family. But to see that, other people see that too. You know, you put yourself out there, you go to these events, you go, you know, rub elbows with folks, and, you know, they see that there's a purpose behind it. Who wouldn't want to be a part of it? You know what I mean? As much as this weekend's my wife's birthday, and we're filming this. This is going to be next weekend, so we're definitely going to drop this so that it's going to be available for folks to know and to be able to get out there and see it and be a part of it. I can't be there this weekend. My wife's birthday we've got trip planned, but I'll be there in spirit, and I'm sending to Calvary. I'm sending everybody I can.
We're throwing another one September 19th, right? So it's kind of like a, you know, beginning of summer, end of summer kind of thing, right? And you know, the beach gets a lot of traction during the summer, and so I want to just touch on what you said, purpose, right? There's a purpose behind this beach cleanup event. Martin County, huge shout out to Martin County. They do an amazing job at keeping the county clean, especially their beaches, right? Pristine. We're known for our beaches. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. The first beach cleanup event, there was like 40, 50 people there. We took off 400 pounds of trash off the beach, right? I went to the dump. I saw the dump ticket. And the beach cleanup is to get people there, right? The initiative to keep the beaches clean and collect garbage and put it in the dump trailer and stuff like that, that's to get people there.
Right.
The real purpose behind this beach cleanup event is to bring community together.
Yeah.
And bring families together that otherwise wouldn't mix, right? Because they're from all walks of life. Everybody that I've met comes from a different path. But most families don't say, from what I've experienced, hey, let's go to the beach this Saturday and just have a beach day.
Right.
They don't do it. Life is too busy. There's sports practices, there's cleaning the house, there's work, there's whatever life gives you, right? It's like you forget that the beach is right there.
Yeah.
It's either a 5-minute or a 20-minute, 30-minute drive, whatever. It's super easy. It's super accessible. What I want is, in the beginning, to teach the kids to come to the beach, leave it better than we found it, right? Clean up a couple of pieces of garbage that you see on the floor, hang out with other kids, other families, and then when that is done from 8 to 10 a.m., whoever wins the beach set, right, which is a giant 45, it's a Yeti 45.
Okay.
Like powder pink, it's beautiful, brand new. Beach toys, umbrellas, blankets, Yeti tumblers, you name it. There's like
so you got a giveaway.
I have a giant raffle, right? It's like a $800 value combined. Okay. We're gonna be selling tickets for that. We also have a 50-inch flat screen smart TV that we're raffling off separately. So 2 separate raffles, and all raised proceeds are going to Hope Center for Autism. So a really good friend of mine, Chris Vaccaro, we've created a relationship together. We go to the same Bible studies, we go to the same church, we see each other a lot.
It's Cove Road, I think, is where, it's in Martin County. I've
in Martin County.
I've seen the place.
I forget the address. It might be on Willoughby. I think it might be on Willoughby, if I'm not mistaken. But they're getting into a new building. So that's what Chris is trying to raise, a certain amount of money by August, I believe. And I think the mark is $2 million, which is, it's a tall order, but if anybody could do it, it's Chris, right? So anything that we raise during this event, we're selling T-shirts, we're doing raffles, we're for the beach kit and the flat screen, we're doing a 50-50 raffle. We're accepting just regular old donations if anybody feels it on their heart to give 20, 50 bucks, whatever it is. Everything that's raised is going to be donated for Hope Center to Autism. And then on behalf of my company, CM Junk and Demo Services, we're going to match that donation.
Nice.
Right? So dollar for dollar.
That's awesome.
We want people to come out. I don't want to... This is not being thrown for any other reason than Chris gave me the statistics. For some reason in this Tri-County area, right? Martin, St. Lucie, Indian River, Palm Beach, this area here, the autism rate is above average, right? I think across the nation it's 1 in 36. Here it's 1 in 30. So it's something that affects the community deeply.
Yeah.
And seeing what he does for these children and the facility that he wants to put them in, right, is a brand new facility. I think he could hold I might misspeak on this. I think it's 200 students or 400 students. And the reason why I get confused between those numbers is because there's a backlog of students. There's a wait list. So I don't know if the wait list is 200 and it can house 400, or if the wait list is 400 and it could. Right. So either way, they're trying to grow so they can accommodate more families and more kids that suffer from autism, and get the awareness level up so people understand that this is something that's not going away.
Yeah.
So we need to understand it, and we need to help families deal with it because, everybody either directly or indirectly in some way is affected by a loved one with autism.
Yeah.
You either have a best friend that has a son or you name it. I know I do. My wife.
I think honestly, I might have like a small form of Asperger's or something too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. So it's.
I think everybody has something whether it's ADD or and I don't like to claim that stuff over your life, but the reality is it affects people.
It affects people dearly, and especially here. And these kids are on the heavier side, I believe, right, where they need the schooling, they need the constant one-on-one.
My little brother has Down syndrome, so when I grew up, we had it was called he was in Special Olympics, so I helped him with bocce ball. He ended up getting a gold medal in bocce ball. We did we had Little League at Elks Park when I was a kid. We had children with special needs playing baseball, t-ball. And my mom was a president of Parent to Parent of St. Lucie County, which is parents of children who have disabilities. She was the president of that for like 6-7 years. So I definitely know, and because my little brother got the attention when I was a kid, like he had to. There was like, hey, we got to take care. We got Ben, Right. So and having that community to be able to outreach to was important because. They had meetings like once a week where they would come in and kind of just share with each other, just like a support group for AA, NA, whatever it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, 100%. So there's definitely a need for it. I believe we might have even bid on the building of that project. Is it a Place of Hope?
It's called Hope Center for Autism, but the building's already. It's owned by a Martin County local. The building's up. It's beautiful. They had a breakfast there for the Martin County Chamber of Commerce, where every chamber member was able to view the building and see why and see why they're pushing this building so hard, right? It just the amenities and how beautiful everything is and the open skylights and these kids get a quality of life when they come to school and these parents feel confident in dropping them off, right? They're not afraid of how they're going to be treated or what type of help they're going to get. Like, this is a real place to make these kids feel good and feel wanted and feel loved and try and work on whatever they got going on, right? And I'm not really well-versed in the spectrum and stuff like that, but I know it takes a lot. Right?
The reality is that you're being a servant of the community by not only cleaning up the beach, bringing families together, bringing community to the community, where who knows what grows from that. You're multiplying impact right there because you're bringing people who are from all walks of life, all business owners, all entrepreneurs, all whoever it is to network at the same time. But it's their families too. How many times do you go to a networking event where you bring your family? Never. It's usually you and a couple other, so a couple
other guys you work with or other entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Right.
And so that's powerful.
Yes.
You got the ability that you're giving back
to
the community and there's a purpose behind it. So that's definitely important with any mission. I'm behind you to support you in that, you know.
Thank you.
And anything you need from me, you know, I'm there. We're there. So
I know that. You've been supportive from day one, which I can't thank you enough for. I don't know exactly what to call it, but it's the Treasure Coast Cleanup Crew.
yeah,
We came up with the name. A couple of buddies and I were brainstorming. I want people to understand that, yes, right, my bread and butter, what provides for my family is my company, but business is secondary for me, right? Especially living down here and learning what I've learned and experiencing what I've experienced. That stuff is secondary. The Treasure Coast Cleanup Crew is a way to take, you know, the spotlight off CM Junk and Demo Services. I want people to understand that this is something that I'm doing because I love it.
it's you as a person.
It's
What
me
you
as a
do,
person.
what you do isn't who you are. So this is who
Correct.
you are. Yeah,
I'm trying to separate
showing your
myself
heart.
from what I do, right?
but it kind of connects too because
It's very on brand, right? I have a trash business.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, let's call it, you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is. We generate a lot of trash
Right.
in my business, right? Where we have one of the largest junk removal companies on the southeast coast of Florida, and we also have a demolition division where we do anything from bathroom tear-outs to full house tear-downs, right? From working with custom home builders to your everyday residential homeowner, right? We don't discriminate. No job is too big or too small.
Yes.
We have massive projects. We don't, right? But what I'm saying is trash is generated. So if I can guarantee that my trash that I generate through my business is disposed of legally and properly through the proper channels, right? And then I can kind of shift that to cleaning up the beach and making sure that trash gets disposed of properly. Like I said, it's very on brand. It comes full circle, but I just want people to understand that the separation occurs when I remove CM Junk and Demo Services and I rebrand almost as a, you know, like the Treasure Coast Cleanup Crew, where it's me. It has nothing to do with my company. I don't want any type of financial gain from it. This is something that
that's your charity.
correct in a sense,
yeah.
right? And that's why I chose to.
Most larger scale companies have a charity or something that's a charity that they partner with exclusively. That everything, because that's part of it, man. I mean, when you're blessed, to be a blessing, you have to be blessed. And when if you're blessed, why wouldn't you want to give back? It's inevitable.
This community has, you know, been behind me since day one. Why would I not give back? I mean, everybody has supported my business.
The reality too is like your daughter is gonna like remember when she grows up, like this is the beach where, you know, we spent all this time together. Like I remember that when I was a kid, like going to a park in Okeechobee with my dad. Like that's just memories that are stuck with me.
Core memories.
100%. And the fact that they're gonna go back and be like, you know, my dad hosted this event here that was. It's just the beginning. It's where you're only getting started.
We're only getting started.
So, you know, for years to come, and that's a part of your legacy.
Correct.
Right.
It could be in many shapes and forms. Right. Legacy is not just about business and finances or anything like that.
Right.
It's about what you show your family and how you raise your children, so they can do better than you did because they had the tools. You showed them. You led them by example. You don't just. You know, in my household when I was growing up, there was a lot of finger pointing and do as I say, not as I does.
Yeah.
Do as I say, not as I do. And that, in the beginning, it was fine because I was a kid and I didn't understand. But as I got older and started getting a lay of the land and understanding how life worked, I'm like, wait a minute, you've never led me by example. You say one thing and do another.
Right.
There is the lack of respect. That's where the lack of respect for your parents is formed, in my belief.
Yeah.
Right? And that's how it occurred with me. And then there's no guidance. So left to my own devices, I'm sinful in nature, which I didn't understand back then, but I sure do now.
100%.
Which is going to be a segue for my next topic. Is I was left to my own devices as a teenager, and I chose to sin because I had no guidance, right? I had no faith, and it felt natural because it is. We're born to sin. We're not born to believe.
Well, like you said, the key word there is got no guidance.
No guidance. Zero.
And that's the important part too, I think, my mission now is definitely wanting to pour into the next generation. Because if we're not doing it, who is? YouTube, you know, the whatever's on social media, these, you know, content creators, and like we need to be the ones that be creating content for our kids and for the next generation to grow up and do the right thing and have that guidance. Because even my dad wasn't the greatest.
No.
I mean, I love him to death now that he's gone. A lot of stuff that he taught me, most of what he taught me, he was right. I didn't want to listen. So my hard-headedness kind of took me in a direction. But most adults, I would say 90+% of adults are dealing with issues as adults that stem from their childhood.
Correct.
I was at an event last weekend where this young lady was 60 years old. She changed her name because of issues she had with her dad when she was a kid. She dealt with it that day. She left it on the floor that day because they dove deep. They dug into her and said, who did you have problems with growing up? Was it dad or mom? It's like, she's dad. She goes into these reasons. Like, he never had time for me. He always was working. He did this. And he was just trying to do the best he could, what we realized. But at the same time, like, that's all our kids want, man. Right. So you don't want to recreate that for your kids. Right. Because I see the way I was with my dad. I still act like that still.
Correct.
But it's getting better, realizing. I think 12 steps helped me with processing my childhood and being able to know why I think and act the way that I do.
Absolutely.
And continuously progressing on changing.
Yeah, and like you're saying, so now, right, pouring into the next generation, I have the next generation to pour into, thank God. Right?
Yes.
My wife gave birth to 2 beautiful baby girls. They're my life. One's 2.5, one's 10 days old, and she was born May 9th, which was an amazing experience. Complete night and day from the first child. Yeah. We were in New York. We were not living any type of real spiritual life. Both super busy, stressed, just all over the place. And then that led into the birthing process and 42 hours of labor and an emergency C-section and my daughter coming out unresponsive and juggling the fact that it was our first child. We had no idea how to raise it. Mm-hmm. That was insane. How our second daughter came into this world was night and day. Yeah. Right? I
remember you talking about it at Bible study. I remember that you're like...
It was a lot, right? Yeah. It was a lot. And our second daughter was the complete opposite of that experience. The nurses were amazing. The hospital was amazing. My wife was only in labor for like 13 hours, and they decided to do a C-section. And we were both very scared, but she accepted it. And I know who she was talking to in that hospital room. Yes. I know for a fact. Yeah. And she admitted it. And there was not one time that I walked past that chapel in that hospital before I went into the elevator that I didn't stop and pray throughout the whole process.
That's awesome.
And that just wasn't me a couple of years ago. It just wasn't me. And I'm only saying this because I want people to understand the power of it all. There's real power in it. Like, my life is night and day compared to before we moved here from New York. And even after we moved here from New York, my life was a little crazy, and my wife will tell you, things weren't that great. Like, there was a failed partnership in a business that never took off with that caused our family to bleed tons of money. I felt responsible for it, right? Because as the leader of the household, the financial responsibility falls on me, right? That's the decision that my wife and I made. She takes care of the household and makes the home a home, and I take care of everything else as a man, right? So I felt responsible. I felt like a failure. It made me down spiral hard. It put a lot of tension on the marriage. Thank God, my daughter was super young, so she didn't really get to see any of it. But from where my life was then to where it is now, and how my wife and I are in the house together, and how we speak to each other and how we act, we pray at the breakfast table. We pray at the dinner table. We talk about Jesus openly. There's worship music going on in the house. Like, it seems so bizarre, so taboo. It often doesn't feel real, but there's a power in the fact of not only believing in God and growing stronger in your faith, but talking to people about it. Yeah. Openly.
That's what he wants us to do.
Right. Be bold.
Sure.
Right?
And sometimes it's not even like even preaching the gospel or preaching the word of the Bible, because I'm still can't quote scripture or any of that. But I'm getting better. Definitely not going to say I can't do it. I'm doing better. But just how you carry yourself. Like you said, that there's something inside of me now. There's something in my heart that just makes me act different, move different, think different, and than when I used to. Night and day difference.
Night and day.
If people only knew. I hung out with my buddy John Torres yesterday, who I grew up with him, and I said that, if people saw us together, they knew trouble wasn't far behind. Right. That's what the reputation that we had created for ourselves, and it was like, now we're going to church together. Yep. Like, we're pouring into our kids' lives. We're pouring into our grandpa for me,
which is huge. That's amazing.
But you couldn't tell me this is what my life was going to be. I would have laughed in your face back in those days, and no other explanation. No.
There was a running bet in high school that I wasn't going to make it past 21.
Yeah.
Then I made it past. And I don't say this to brag. It's just that's how bad it was. You know what I mean? And I've lost a lot of.
Just being crazy, doing crazy stuff. We're hanging out the windows of cars, throwing beer bottles at signs. Like, we could have gotten killed with some of the stuff we did.
Just putting myself in situations where normal people don't make it out alive. And I'm not saying that I'm not normal. I'm just saying that there's been something protecting me this whole time in situations where I should have been dead or severely disabled. Vegetable, paraplegic, quadriplegic, totaling vehicles, I won't get into it, but because I don't want to put any light on those situations. It's the past, and it's not important anymore for this specific case, But where was I going with that? The power, the talking to people about it, like you said, not being able to quote scripture. For me, actually, and I don't know if this is something that I have to deal with on my own or whatever, but sometimes it actually rubs me the wrong way. There's people that take, I don't want to say pride because that's not too, but they quote scripture and they think that it makes them like special.
Use it as a weapon.
Yeah, it unlocks something deep inside of me that makes me kind of like rage out, right? And it really bothers me, and I don't want to be that ever, right?
So you're similar. You have a similar background as me, where like it wasn't poured into us from a young age. We're like, so it's new. It became new. So like we have this other kind of mindset towards it, to where like at the end of this whole life, me and God are the ones that are going to be at the pearly gates. Not you, not the guy down the street, not the people who's talking junk about me saying because I got tattoos, I'm going to hell. Like, it's not, we have a relationship, me and him, and I'm going to heaven. Right. You know what I mean? And there's no other way around it. And
yeah. Would he like it if I was well versed in his word? Absolutely. But he'd much rather me live a good life in his name.
100%.
Right?
He knows our hearts.
Correct.
He knows our hearts.
Right. It doesn't matter what we do, right? You can pretend all you want. You can wear
You're only fooling yourself in that situation.
You're only fooling yourself.
Yeah.
That's it. You're only fooling yourself. Because when you get to that gate and and you're being judged and he's looking at you, he already knows what time it is. There's nothing you can do about it other than change your heart now, right? Believe in him and do as he wants you to do now. You can start over at any point. That's the coolest thing with faith. Like, I know people that have come to Christ at 60 and lived a crazy life. He's okay with that. He's not going to say no to you.
That was the plan. I mean, obviously, you talk about that story in the Bible where they say that it took them 40 years to take a 2-week journey. Yep. That's my life in a nutshell. Yeah. Like, I could have just surrendered and listened and went the path that he wanted me to go on and been there in 2 weeks. Right. But I chose to take the 40-year journey and beat my head up against the wall. And so now, like I say, like, I don't regret any of it, because that was what I had to go through to get where I am today. And I love the person that I am today because of what I've been through. Right. And I don't, like I said, it's God has a plan. He has a path. We're the ones that kind of decide whether to prolong that path, Absolutely. Prolong that journey of taking us to the promised land. Yep.
We touched on faith. We touched on family. We touched on the beach cleanup event. That's something that's very special to me that I hope to see for the next, however many years to come.
Yeah.
I hope it just grows and grows and grows. My plan for that is to start in Fort Pierce.
Yeah.
And team up with.
Do like chapters.
Yeah, I want to team up with the best waste management or debris company in that city, right? Whether it's Boca, West Palm, Jupiter, Fort Lauderdale, Miami. I want to take it all the way down the coast, right?
Yeah.
Because there's somebody that does what I do.
Well, you might run into down there where there's 10 of them that say they're the best, but you got to figure, or bring them all together as a team. You never know.
But look at what I'm doing though, right?
Yeah.
So one of my best friends down here, Raphael,
Yeah.
from MAGA Junk Removal. The guy is unbelievable. He's got a beautiful family. He walks the walk. He doesn't just talk the talk.
I got the opportunity to meet him recently. I think last month I met him for the first time. Top-notch guy for sure.
You stopped by the RV, right?
Yes.
By the America 250 with Thomas
yeah.
Coulter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys are doing great things. Big shout out to all those guys: Blake Montgomery, Thomas Coulter, Raphael. His family's beautiful. He's got a beautiful wife. She's got a beautiful business. He's raising his kids the way I'm raising my children.
He's a God-fearing man.
Correct. And he's loud about it.
Yeah.
Which is super cool. And he does what I do. We're in the same exact business, give or take. And we talk about the bottom 1% compete, the top 1% collaborate, right? There is no competition. We're both in God's kingdom. He will provide enough for the both of us.
There's enough out there for
Correct. We don't need to fight over it, right? Because when we fight over it, it's like it's ours to begin with, and it's not. He's going to give us what he gives us, right? We just got to work hard at it. And there's another, so he sponsored the event, and there's another sponsor on there, my buddy RJ Davis and Hauling. He is another guy that does what I do, but we don't care. When he needs help, I help him. When I need help, he helps me. It's not about that, right? And that's another reason why I want to. I told them that they could sponsor, and they were super happy about it. I want to show people that like there's a million electrical companies, there's a million plumbing companies, there's a million land development companies, there's a million whatever. Everybody nowadays wants to be an entrepreneur because they understand that that's the only way to become super successful, right? And buy back your own time. Why compete? If I'm doing it, and I want to make money, and I want to be successful, and I want to, build a legacy, why can't anybody else? They're completely entitled to it, right? As long as they do good business, 100%. They conduct themselves properly, right? And let them have it. Let them.
And if they don't, guess what? They got to suffer the consequences.
And it'll be revealed.
It will.
I don't have to expose it.
What happens in the darkness always comes to the light.
I don't have to expose it, right? But I know that these two guys, and that's why I'm friends with them, and that's why I hang out with them, and that's why we help each other. I know that they do good business. Yeah. I know that they're there for the community, right? I know that they're God-fearing men, and they love to provide for their families and stuff like that. So why not? And to be honest with you, I'm the new guy on the block. They've been down here doing this for way longer than me.
Well, what you guys got going on is I think it's a very new niche market. Like there was like a demolition company, there was like junk removal before, but in this area, it's very niche and it's needed. Let's just face it, man. Port St. Lucie, like the trash company that came in, sucks. People got stuff sitting on their yards and their lawns for weeks, sometimes months before they come and pick up their heavy debris.
Yeah, and then
it
the
leaves
city
a green
fines
spot.
them for it. Right.
Then, like I had a garbage can that I've been using it for the pickup, and like it's the same one. It's the heavy duty one, but it's just the one we bought at Walmart before we had switched over to the new garbage company, and they've been taking it since they did the switch, and now all of a sudden they sent us put a ticket on it, left the garbage in there, and we're like, sorry, we can't pick this garbage can up anymore. You got to go buy one. And I'm like, buy another one?
It's 95 degrees outside. There's probably food scraps in there. There's maggots and flies.
And that's why there's a need for it right now. There's 100%, like even if it's just picking someone's couch up for them, like it's an awesome opportunity to be in business doing what you're doing.
Yeah, listen. What we've done over the course of the last year, we opened up our doors March 1st, so this March was full 12 months in business, right? And,
I remember the beginning, man. We sat down at Starbucks.
Correct. And I was giving you the whole layout and my vision and what I wanted to do, and since then it has transformed, right? It is not what I thought it was going to be.
Talk about that, man. Talk about the growth. Talk about how this past year has been for you.
The growth has been immense. It's been challenging. It's been stressful. It has been a joy My wife tells me every day how proud of me she is, and what I've built in a place where I'm not from, and I really didn't have a network. And now that's not the case anymore, right? So the more people I meet and the more relationships I build, the more the business takes off. And I started out, and I'm just gonna be brutally honest. I started out picking up piss-soaked mattresses for $125 a piece.
Yeah.
I was on Facebook Marketplace sending people generic messages telling them, hey, if you can't get rid of this stuff for free, I'll come and pick it up for a small fee. Right? Because people don't have the money nowadays. Everybody knows that the squeeze is on, right? Taxes are up, fuel is up, groceries are up, everything's up except for our wages. Right? So a lot of people don't have the disposable income to hire a junk removal company, right? So they try and figure out other ways, like leave it on the curb for the city to pick up. Well, then the city gives you a fine, right? Because the city charges you anyway, even though you pay a ridiculous amount of money for your garbage. So I created these effective ways to get my brand out there and let people know that I'm here. And I tried everything under the sun, and eventually it popped, right? And, some of my biggest connections that I've made were from, like, for instance, one of the contractors I know, I came and picked up a couch for his mother, and he just happened to be at his mother's house. Right now, he could have probably easily got one of his guys to do it, but he just probably was too busy and didn't want to be bothered or whatever. And now he's one of the guys that feeds me the most work.
Wow.
Right? And I could have said no to that couch pickup. I could have said, I'm busy, it's not enough money. I didn't. I went and I did it. Right? Like, do the stuff that you do not want to do. That gets you to where you want to be.
Well, that's that hunger and that drive too. Right. And that's the part that, like, I definitely understand it, because that's where I started. The beginning is the hardest part. You're in survival mode. You're like, how am I going to make this work? Because you took a leap of faith that not everybody else wants to do. Yeah. Not everybody has that in them to where they're like, I'm just going to quit working a job that pays me, that's secure, that has a paycheck coming every week, and go do this thing that I don't know if it's going to work or not. When I signed the lease here, I signed a 2-year lease. I don't know how I'm going to pay for it. God keeps overflowing the cup. More than enough, always. And that's faith in a nutshell, is that, you're going to do those things you don't want to do. You're going to pick up those couches for free, and then it turns into 6 more opportunities. Like, that's God sees our heart, man.
Every single time. And so it started out like that. Now we have contracts with property management companies. I have property management companies that send me work orders, and they're not worried about what the price is going to be. They just want the work done.
Yeah.
Because they know I'm
going to handle it. Give us the bill.
Correct. And they never, ever give me grief or headache about the invoice.
They trust you, man. You've built trust.
Correct. And they know that I'm going to go there. I'm going to leave it, the apartment or whatever, the house, beautiful, right? A lot of it's like move out clean outs or eviction clean outs or whatever. But, they know it's not the prettiest work. It's a dirty job, right? So that's number one. Number two, there are a lot of people in my industry that, and I'm not knocking them, but it's the 2 chucks in the truck, where they don't know how to price a job. They just need enough money to live for the day, which is totally fine, but they're not reliable. They don't show up on time. They often cut corners. They illegally dump. There's a million other things that they do that gives junk removal.
Just business etiquette in general. But
junk removal is a high margin, extremely profitable business, right? Which I did not really know when I started it. I just knew that it would be easy to get a couple of guys in my truck that I could pay to go and pick up heavy furniture, put it in my dump trailer, and drive it to the dump. Yeah. There's no, we're not working in crown molding or stucco.
AI's not taking it over either.
Exactly. So it was something that I could have really taken and run with, and I did. What I'm saying is the relationships that I've built, I've kind of separated myself from a lot of the industry standard.
100%. Yeah.
Right?
You set yourself apart.
Correct. And I often explain to people why I'm different, why CM Junk and Demo Services is different. And I won't go into that. People kind of already know what the deal is. But the growth has been monumental. We did over $250,000 our first year in revenue, right? With a ridiculously high profit margin. I won't mention what that is, but just know it's a lot higher than most businesses operate on.
Yeah.
Right? And now we're moving into way bigger projects. Whole house teardowns, selective demos in places like Admiral's Cove, Frenchman's Quarter, Boca West, Mirasol.
Yeah, but you spoke that into existence.
I did.
And you said, I just want to go sit on an excavator and knock a house down or swing a sledgehammer, and with the humility, right? Being humble about it and knowing that like you spoke it into existence.
I had no idea it was going to happen.
How many trailers do you got now?
6.
6 trailers. I remember you came to me, it was like the second one. You're like, should I do it?
Yeah, I told you. I'm like, I don't know, these roofers and this and that, so that's the coolest thing is that when you look back at it all, just like you mentioned, you took a 2-year lease on this place. You stepped out of the fear and into the faith. Fear is a low vibration frequency.
Yeah.
Right? It creates negativity. It spreads.
I swear, when you
cancer.
stop, like, I'm not saying like don't care about money, because obviously we need money. But when you say that like it's gonna work out, let's put it that way. Mm-hmm. You don't know where it's coming from, you know how it's gonna happen, but it always happens. Like, and you get to that point where, like you said, you're on a different level, you're on a different frequency, a different vibration where I can't explain it, man. It just keeps working. And it might not be millions of dollars, but it's enough to fill your cup up. And I don't need to have more than that. I don't need more than I got a roof over my head. I got my son in my life. I got my family. I got beautiful people around me that want to actually see me succeed and are helping me in any possible way. Why wouldn't you want to go through life any other way?
The money's just a bonus.
Icing on the cake.
And for me, like, and every morning when I hit my knees, this is one of the things that I pray for. Bless me so I can bless others. That's all I want to do, man. Like, the feeling of changing somebody's life, the easiest way to do it is finances, usually, to be honest with you, right? Like, it's a super easy thing to say, here, buddy.
If you want to drill a well in Africa, what do you need?
Money. Straight up, right? They're not going to give it to you for free, right?
Yeah.
So yes, money is a tool. Money's not
It's how you steward it. God sees your heart, how you're stewarding this money, how you're stewarding what he gives you, because it ain't yours. Nothing's yours. No. You got a Ferrari, you got a Lamborghini, you got a house, whatever. You just get to call it yours for a little while, because when you leave the earth, it ain't going with you. No. Anything, like, you get to say like, oh, I got this cool thing, but it's temporary. It's not permanent. And
even the house is not yours.
No.
You stop paying your property taxes. They don't care how much money.
We're working on that.
I'm just saying. I know. Please.
Hurry up.
Yeah, hurry up, buddy. It's taking forever. What I'm saying is that you stop paying your taxes. Doesn't matter how much money you put down into the house or how many mortgage payments you made with your hard-earned money. They're taking that house back from you. So the biggest change in my prayer life has been not using the word my or I. There's a guy out there, I'm not going to mention his name, but every time he speaks, he says we. Yeah. No matter if he's in a room by himself or he's with 100 people, he says we. Yeah. And what he means by we is him and God. Yeah, so when I hit my knees and I pray in the morning and I pray God, I used to say, thank you, God, for my beautiful family. Thank you, God, for my beautiful business. Thank you, God, for my beautiful home.
That sentence.
I removed the word my. Thank you, God, for this beautiful home. Thank you, God, for a beautiful family. Thank you, God, for a prosperous business. It's his. I give him ownership. I give him all the credit.
Yeah.
I never understood that.
Death and life is in the power of the tongue, so how we speak and the way we say certain things is important, and you definitely hit the nail on the head there, because it is a we thing.
It's a we thing, right? Like, without him, I wouldn't have any of this, and he gives me what he wants. Right, and what I deserve, and
at the same time, though, you can't really expect. Let's say you pray for more work, like it doesn't just fall on your lap. We have to do our part. God's going to give you those opportunities and those abilities, like you said, the how you explain why you're different than the next guy. Yeah. That's given to. That's a gift that we have that's been given to us, and we're stewarding it for his purpose that he has for our life.
The craziest thing about that is, though, sometimes, and I'm going through this right now, I have prayed for that abundance of work.
It does land on your lap sometimes.
It does land on your lap, but he's funny how he does it.
Yeah.
Because I'm praying for something that I want,
specific.
Right? Specific. And it's not like a pair of new shoes.
Right.
I'm praying for work so I can feed my family and give them a better quality of life and put more people to work so I could feed more men's families and so on and so forth. So it's not a completely selfish motive, but I think that I can handle the amount of work that I want. And what he's done recently has been like, all right, buddy, you want some work? You really want this work?
Be careful what you pray
right?
for.
Whoosh. And he sends it.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there at the table with my wife, and I'm like, I have no idea how I'm going to do this all.
It always works out.
And she's like, this is what you prayed for.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like
Your worst day, somebody else's, that's what they've been praying for years. So.
Correct. And it's the craziest thing of how he does it, but he puts it in perspective for me. If I'm really open to see it, right? If I'm really living in my faith and my eyes are open, my heart is open, I'm able to step back and say, okay, wait a minute. What I have right now is more than enough work, right? And maybe I'm not ready. Maybe you got to give it to me in piecemeal. Maybe I got to get one big job under my belt that's something that I never thought I was going to do, right? Like a 4,800 square foot teardown in a multi-million-dollar community where the stakes are high, all eyes on you. It's a make or break situation. You can either
the pressure's on.
Create your reputation or destroy your reputation in one job, right? Like, it depends on how this job goes. Everybody's going to know about it, whether it's good or bad, right? So the stakes are high. And it's like, all right, give me it how you've been giving it to me, a little bit at a time, and I won't ask for more. And I am more than grateful for what you've given me thus far, and I'm going to continue to honor you and continue to live my life the right way that it, you know. And it's like, then everything kind of boils back down, and you're like, all right, cool, I'm good. I'm gonna stop trying to impose my will, stop trying to pray for things that I think I want, and continue to ask you for stuff that you think I deserve. And if you think I deserve it, then you'll give me the courage to put the effort in to work for it, right? Because effort's not easy. It's hard. You wake up at 5 a.m. every day. You don't want to do it, right? Like, I struggle with the 5 a.m. wake up. I toss and turn. I hit my snooze.
We had a guy in here that, Jason Shipley, he's local. He's down in Stuart. I don't know, he's like a couple thousand days in on running a 5K every day. And I'm like, man, you really must like running, huh? He's like, no, I hate it. I hate it.
There you go.
I never want to do it. But he always figures out a way. If it's 11 o'clock at night and he didn't do it, he gets up and he runs his 5K.
That's 3.1 miles, right? Something like that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And it's like...
But he made a deal with himself.
Right.
And he said that this is what I'm going to do until, you know, call it Forrest Gump, whatever. Whenever he feels like stopping running, he's going to stop. But like it's that is what is going on. And that's true discipline and truly putting in taking the walk, making the steps, doing it. And that's what I lacked for years was the actual, you know, like, I really want to do this in my life. I really want to write a book. I really want to do this. And once I started doing those things, like, now everything that pops in my mind, like socks, underwear,
I can do it.
Yeah,
right.
Like I just do it.
Right.
Like I start moving in their direction. I develop a plan, and I say, "This is it. They're in."
And what's the worst that could happen? You know what I mean?
At least I got my own socks and underwear.
Right, and now I don't have to buy them from somebody else,
Yeah.
and I get them for pennies
Yeah.
on the dollar. Like the deal with this, like the guy you just mentioned, Jason. If you make a deal with yourself and can't keep it, how are you going to make a deal with somebody else and honor?
We talked about that last weekend. Like and I've been that guy too. Like I do concrete for a living, but my driveway was broken. The drywall guy has holes in his drywall at home. Like if you can't do that for yourself, but you can do it for other people, why? Ask yourself that question. Why you can be this person for other people, and you can go and be the best service provider and customer service representative, but you can't be that best service provider for yourself. So that's where I flipped the script, was that I started putting myself higher on the priority list, because if I don't have me, how can I be there for somebody else?
Correct.
I could wing it and play that role and make it look good and put a smile on my face. But in all actuality, people want to scale their businesses. They want to go to the next level. They want to have better relationships with everybody around them. They got to start looking inward and changing themselves. And that's where, I think was really the cheat code for me, was I personally and honestly believe it was through working the 12 steps.
Yeah, no, I mean, I give
And
100%. You know my background, right? We've
that
talked
was
about this a million times.
the change and all fellowships. I mean, just getting to see all of them and truly working it, because you see some people who are in the rooms and for years and like, hey, did you work the steps? You're like, no. That's the one thing they tell you when you go.
It's the majority, though.
It's true,
But it's like that in life everywhere, right? The majority of people don't want to do the work.
No,
they just want the outcome.
They want the outcome.
And the problem with the culture we live in nowadays, especially with the young generation, they portray the outcome first without doing the work. It's all fluffed. It's all a facade. It's all an act. Like you said, the Lambos and this and that. It's like, if you tried as hard to actually do the work in relation to how hard you tried to fake it, you would be extremely successful, right? They put so much energy into faking the funk and creating this like facade, this allure of like, I'm successful. Look at me in my Lambo. I do $1 million. What are you doing? Do the work.
If that's important to you, great. And it may be important to other people, but like, I want all of it.
Right.
Like, I don't want just one part. Like, you see some of these guys that are, they're influencers or whatever, but they can't even have a monogamous relationship with another woman. They can't hold, there's that to me should be the very top on your priority list, because I can't be who I am today without my wife. She is the catalyst on supporting me. Like, sometimes, especially being in construction and stuff, like I go and for years, like I would think like, oh, she'll never understand. Like she doesn't know construction. Like, I don't even want to bother her with some of the stuff that's on my mind or on my heart. But once I started like explaining it to her, like, honey, this thing happened today and this is how it works. Like on job sites, if you do this, like you fail this inspection and this happens. She's like, but once I took the time and like started explaining to her and opening up to her and stuff, like she does get it. And she was there to support me. Hey, don't worry about it. Everything's going to be okay. And it helped me instead of holding that stress inside of me and having like that knot in my heart of like, how am I going to get this job to pay for these guys' payroll for this week or whatever. And it always ended up working out. But having the support from her is the only reason that I'm sitting here today, along with our relationship with God. You know?
100%. No, my wife is, without my wife, I would be a very lost and broken man.
And you do see people who are very successful that are single, but there's a void that they're going to bed with at night.
They know that, even though they don't want to admit it.
It's just almost like signing a deal with the devil, because you're yes, you get everything, you get all this stuff, but at the end of the day, you're by yourself.
You have nobody to share it with.
You're
all the friendships are superficial for the most part, right?
Yeah.
When you got that money, everybody's like,
they're hanging out, yeah.
Hey, free steak dinner, free boat ride, free vacation. You know what I mean? You always have to question people's loyalty and motive, and it's like, I never have to question my wife's loyalty or motive, like ever, right? Because she was there,
no question,
way before any of it, and she's gonna be there way after any of it. And we always talk about it like, what's the worst that could happen, right? Like, we give it our best shot. It doesn't work out. Life does life stuff, and we end up in a one-bedroom apartment, and we get regular jobs. And my worst-case scenario is most people's best-case scenario, right? And it's like that saying is cliche and corny because you've heard it a million times now. But when you live on the other side of it and you look your wife in the eye and you're like, hey, we're good. What's the worst that could happen? No matter what, we love each other.
That's right.
From there you can build anything, right? And from there you can handle anything.
Well, you guys built together too, so there's very similar to mine and my wife's story, to where like we've already been in the efficiency apartment, so if we got to go back,
we know what it is.
But I won't ever go there because of where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And not that if I fail, I'll just know how to get going again, because that's
exactly. I'll never backtrack.
Right.
But it's nice to know that your wife doesn't care about all the other
and she's
stuff.
on the same team with you. When you walk out the door in the morning, you got God. You're on the dynasty championship team with having God on you. And I put blessed over my door, so when I walk out every morning, when I walk out, I see I'm blessed. And I have my wife. Like, there's nothing that can stop me. You know, it's inevitable that I'm going to be successful.
But
in anything that I go through and anything that I touch.
Yeah.
What's next? What you got going on? What's next for Paul? And
Well, what's next? The business is growing, the family's growing, the faith is growing. This beach cleanup event is growing. I'm growing in all areas of my life. To be honest with you, man, I don't know.
The content thing is growing. I see that too. Like, you're definitely got the content creation.
My guy that works for me full time, Desi, you know, I really got to give it to him, man, because it's raw content. It's not what he does for a living. The way my wife looks at it is she told me, she's like, listen, if this kid is taking time out of his day on his personal time to create these reels and show people what CM Junk and Demo Services does on a day-to-day basis, he believes in it, right? And that's culture, right? That's somebody that believes in what my company stands for, comes to work every day dressed in uniform, gives it his best shot, doesn't complain, works hard.
Well, you're helping guys too that are, that giving them second chances and stuff.
Absolutely, too. Right? I've been given way more than a second chance.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm probably in double digits.
Exactly. So if I didn't do that for other people, then what does that say about
That's
me,
powerful.
right? Like, so this dude Desi, man, I cannot thank him enough. One of my buddies who's helping me build my pool in my backyard right now shows up the other day to do some quality control and make sure the site's ready for travertine and everything. And Desi's back there just taking up the sod in my little area that we need to lay pavers in. And Leon walks back there. He's like, hey, you the guy that makes all those videos? You know what I mean? Like, right away. Yeah. And you saw Desi's face light up. And he's like,
yeah, you saw it?
He's like, somebody noticed? You know, like what I'm doing is actually being seen,
That's
you know?
awesome.
And it's like, that's how I know he loves what he does. That's how I know I'm being a good boss too, right? Like,
well, that's new too. Like, if you're not in the content game and you're in business for yourself, you're already behind the 8 ball.
Correct.
Like that's, you hear these stories of guys that are like, oh, I'm mentoring business owners and I sold my business 10 years ago. I'm like, brother, if you ain't up to speed within the last 6 months, you're behind.
Your mentorship means nothing.
Yeah, you're behind. Like,
the ABCs are still there.
Yeah.
Right. The ABCs are
as far as
we're in a different age. Way different age.
You got to stay up to par with what's going on, and even just like the AI that's switching. Like, there's like 3 of them back now. Like,
right.
And
then there's ones that Perplexity they just launched. Or something. It's
I
like
just saw it
Claude,
yesterday.
Gemini, Chat, and everything
there's
in
3
one.
Geminis now. 3.5 and yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, but it's at an accelerated rate to where if you don't even try to keep up, you're getting left in the dust. And what he does is, what I've noticed, is raw material.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter what it looks like. Doesn't matter what the track is behind the video. Doesn't matter the resolution quality. He's pumping these reels out. They're raw. They're real reels is what Desi and I call them. Real reels. It's what we do. There's no like super nice editing involved, and which, trust me, that makes a difference.
Yeah.
Right? But what we've noticed with the algorithm is that it wants real and constantly needs to be fed, right?
100%.
Like, just feed the beast, and it's working. Some of these reels he posts pop, and then I did a I hope you don't mind or whatever, but just big shout out to Wido.
No, I don't mind at all. Wido's awesome.
I'm just saying, like, but the amount of help I've gotten from him over the last couple of months, and we did an interview at the last Rise of a Warrior event, where he talked to me about my wife and asked me questions and stuff like that. And he helped me post this reel about how I chased my wife for a year. And it's like a running joke in the house now where I always tell my wife, I'm like, hey, you got 125,000 views. You got 4,000 likes. She's like, I didn't get that. You're talking about me. It's your face. I'm like, no. I'm like, I kind of like thirst trap people with the picture. I put a picture up of her in her bikini.
Yeah.
Like, she's on a surf trip in Nicaragua. Like, my wife, I'm extremely physically attracted to my wife. Like, it's only getting better as time goes on, but like,
you should be.
Exactly, right? Like, if you're not, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
And And I put a little picture up of her, like like the front clip or whatever, and this reel took off, man. And it's like I didn't say anything crazy. I just kept it real. I just kept it super raw and authentic, and told people exactly what it was, and Wyatt's been helping me like crazy, right? He consults me on certain things, and he critiques me on others, and he gives me ideas, and he's always available when I ask him to film something or whatever. And he just did a thing for Chris Vaccaro and I about the Hope Center for Autism, and the posting game is crazy. I actually don't like it, because whatever I'm doing for work and I have to post these reels on my Instagram, right? The app's already open, so once I'm done posting, I fall into that doom scroll trap, right? And I know there's a way around it. I can schedule when to post and stuff like that, but I'm just not there yet. So it does take a little bit of time out of my day, and maybe when I'm home, I probably shouldn't be on Instagram or stuff like that. So I actually don't like it all.
Yeah.
So the fact that Desi does it and invites me to collaborate on his page, and all I have to do is hit accept, and now the reel is posted, it's taken a lot of my time back. Well, I don't have to sit there and edit my own reels or hire somebody to do it and pay a ridiculous amount of money. I pay the guy a great salary, right? He loves what he does, and he does post content in his spare. If we're driving to the dump for an hour, he's sitting in the passenger seat editing a reel. By the time we go to the dump, before we weigh in, it's up. Who's got it better than me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who's got it better than me?
It's the
super
team
cool
that we build, man.
Correct.
Definitely.
And I want more guys like that.
Yeah.
And that's why I keep on asking God for the work, because I want to be able to have 6 months booked out where I could say, all right, I got to hire an office assistant. I need 2 more full-time guys. I got to go buy a van and wrap it so I have a rolling toolbox on every job site, right? So, I want to scale. I know what I need to scale. I need the volume in order to do so, right? I want the scale to be organic. I don't want to come into an immense amount of debt and then feel like I need to take every job to pay the bills.
Yeah.
Because then it turns into not all money is good money. And jobs that I otherwise would have backed out. Correct. But I'm just saying, otherwise, there would have been a job on the table, and I'm like, I don't know about the client. I don't know about the scope of work, really. Something isn't sitting right with me. I don't really want to do this because it may blow up in my face, right?
Right.
As to where if I have a $30,000 overhead, I don't care who the client is. I don't care what the scope of work looks like. I don't care if it may blow up in my face. I need to take that job because I need the cash flow. And it puts me in a different standpoint. And I don't want that, right? And we talked about
Or
in
you
the
could look
beginning.
at it like the leap of faith method is that, you get it and then it starts rolling in.
The leap of faith method I've taken.
But if you're not there yet, then nobody can tell you if what you're ready to do or not. And as long as you're consulting with the number one consultant, then.
And I have a couple of number 2 consultants.
Yeah.
And
there's nothing. Yeah, the 100%. Got to.
Right. So he probably won't see this at all because he's not on social media at all. My buddy Brian Andrade, Sam Ganem, who was a guest on your show.
Yep. Sam's awesome.
I love that woman.
Yeah.
She's
a sister from another mister.
She's unbelievable. She checks in on me all the time, even when I fall short and I'm super busy and I don't check in back and stuff like that. She doesn't care. She's always like, how are you doing? What can I help? We went to a fundraising event down in Lake Worth. She introduced me to one of her really good friends, Brian, who is a developer / GC. And this guy has organically become a mentor for me.
Nice.
In all areas of life, especially faith.
Yeah.
Super God-driven man.
I think I'm supposed to meet with that guy.
Yeah.
Because he's in Palm Beach, right?
Correct.
Yeah, she connected me with him too. But I have the Riviera Beach job that I have. I told him, I said, hey, we're gonna go down there next week. Let's link up. But yeah, I think it's the same guy.
Yeah, it is. It's Brian. He comes from up north. He built a business down here. Extremely successful individual in more areas than one. I mean, he's got a beautiful family. We connect on so many levels. He teaches me about business. He's been an entrepreneur his whole life. He's got a very different story than I, right? I was a union guy forever, and he teaches me about numbers and scalability and profit margin and P&L sheets and how to bid jobs and what to look for and, you know, who to not work for.
Yeah.
Who to be careful of. And the relationship has grown organically. We go to events together. We hang out. I do work for him, right, which is kind of crazy because you don't really want to mix professional and business all the time, right? But it just works out. And I want a huge shout out to Brian. I mean, the guy has changed my life single-handedly.
Nice.
The information that he's given me for free. I am a complete advocate for paying for mentorships for people that are in your space, that have mastered your craft, that have done what you want to do. You got to pay to play. I get it, right?
Yeah.
There's something about free mentorship. It's very hard to find. It's not often genuine. You may think it's free, and then all of a sudden they call in that favor. Hey, listen, I've given you this, that, the third. Right? And you're like, wait a minute. Whoa, I didn't know that there was like a catch to this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you shouldn't give back to the person that's freely given to you. I think you should absolutely give back to that person in any way, shape, or form that you can to show your respect and your appreciation and your gratitude. But there shouldn't be something lurking in the background.
100%.
Right? You know what I mean?
I think if you're going to say it, it needs to be on the table from the beginning.
Correct. Right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And that's how I am. Like anything that however I stand or however I look at something, when I meet somebody, I'm an open book. I tell them, yo, this is what it is.
Yeah.
You don't like it? That's cool, man. And I respect you for having a difference of opinion. But this is who I am.
Yeah.
Right? This is what it's going to be in a sense. If that's not okay with you, at least I'm being upfront and telling you, and now we can go about it in a different way. We don't need to not collaborate or not be friends or not.
100%.
Right? But at least you know where I'm at, and you can't tell me 6 months down the line, hey, I didn't know. Yeah, you did. I told you everything there is to know about what we're doing or who I am or how I act.
100%.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, Brian, man, he has been a godsend. I thank Sam consistently for introducing me to him, because the amount of information he's given me is priceless. And on top of that, I can talk to him about faith and lust.
Yeah.
And acting out of character and fear and whatever it is, you know what I mean? And he gets all of it.
Well, there's a reason why that works, right? Because you look at any fellowship, you look at, the church community, no matter what you call it, it's the same thing. So it's iron sharpening iron. So as one man sharpens another.
Absolutely.
And it's biblical. So that's why it works. You call it a sponsor, right? You call it a discipleship leader. You call it a mentor. It's the same thing. It's pouring into somebody, and realistically, there's receiving coming back, whether people realize it or not. And if you think you're helping somebody, guess what? You're being helped at the same time. It's always been that way for me.
I texted him the other day, and I'm like, dude, like right after my daughter was born, he said some stuff, and I just texted him the other day, and I said, dude, you have no idea how much I love you and how grateful I am for you being in my life. And that's not easy to say to another man.
Yeah, intimacy. So you think of intimacy, you think of being intimate with a woman, but when you're, as a man, you can be intimate with another man. It doesn't mean you're being sexual with them or anything, but you're able to be yourself, be real with them. Tell the man, I love you, bro. Right. I love you. Right. I want to see that. Yeah, 100%. Like, some people don't get that because it's that child that's within us still. It's like, you think it's gay, you think it's all these things, but it's not. It's iron sharpening iron. It's a biblical proponent of life. It's something that's going to help no matter what. There's a reason why it works, because it's.
And he texted me back, and he goes, dude, you've helped me more than you know.
That's it.
I'm like, how? I haven't given you anything I haven't said anything to you that you don't already know. I haven't done any work for you for free. I haven't introduced you to anybody who's been a profitable connection or anything like that. I haven't,
Right.
in my head, I'm like, I haven't done anything for this guy.
Yeah.
I want to do as much as I can because he keeps pouring into me. And I just don't know how, because he operates on a whole nother level than me, right? Like financially, spiritually, emotionally, just monetarily, like numbers wise. This guy could balance his checkbook in his head, and he's got 7 different bank accounts, and he knows exactly to the penny what's in it, what should be, what's coming, what's going out. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And I'm like, how did I help this guy? Right? Like, I want to be him. And he's only a couple of years older than me.
Right.
But he's been doing it for so long, man. And he's been
That's the thing, is that, it was explained to me like this, that if you want it, like certain people come into your life, like you're definitely somebody that I've seen in my life that has that dog in them. Somebody that you see them, you gravitate to them, you hang with them, because not everybody's that way. And that may be what he's receiving, is that, that the fact that he sees you in him and vice versa. And, but it just, somebody who's a little further off, like nobody's better. They're just a little better off because they've been doing it that much longer. They've swung the bat that many more times. Mm-hmm. They've got that many more strikeouts, because that's what it takes too, is failing to be able to be successful.
Yeah.
So that's all. He's just struck out a few more times, or a lot more times.
And he doesn't want to see me strike out as many times.
And that's the best thing that you can get. If you're able to receive that from somebody, instead of saying, no, I got this, I know, I've done it, then those are the people that I want to work with. Yes. Those are the people that I will help, because I want to help anybody that wants to help themselves.
Correct.
And if it gets to the point where it's like you kind of see, like that, for me, like somebody told me I was helping everybody for free, but they're the one that told me, it's like, dude, you have a family, you have obligations, you have all these things that, like, you can't just help everyone for free. And God, so that's why I don't go out looking for it. God provides people. Yes. He's going to bring people into your life that are that. And that the connection was meant to be made for a reason. Even if it's for a season, even if it's 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever, that connection was supposed to be made for a reason, and it's going to help both of you in the rest of your life, mm-hmm. and everything you got going on.
Yeah, 100%, man. I mean, so back to the original question, and you and I we understand each other on so many different levels. It's just we could talk about stuff. We could sit here for a day and just talk. We could, right? And which I love.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Right. But the question of, like, what's next, right? Like, what's next for me? It's really hard to answer, because if I knew that answer, super crazy way to bring this up, but somebody said it the other day. My buddy Eric, he's also a contractor locally. From New York, and we rekindled down here or whatever. And he said his mother had a thing on her desk or in her room. It said, if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you try, or what would you do? In a sense, right? Like, if you knew that no matter what, you were gonna win, you were gonna succeed, what would you try? Would you try to build a bridge to space? Would you, the craziest idea you could possibly dream of, you would do it because you knew you wouldn't fail. So what's next for me? I wish I knew, right? My dream, I've been talking about it forever, is development, right?
Yeah.
You gotta look what's going on in the state right now. The state is seeing something it's never seen before. The real estate market in Florida has been volatile since the day is long, right? I mean, up and down, overdevelopment, and whatever, market crashes and stuff like that. Florida suffered that for a long time. I think those days, quite frankly, for me, are over. What's going on in Palm Beach? What's going on in Miami and
Wall Street of the South? It's
exploding. There's so much money moving here because of what this state has to offer, individually,
just our area,
corporately.
Port St. Lucie alone. It's a great time to be in
this town specifically, right? And it's all down that southeast coast. Mm-hmm. I know guys that are buying these houses for $1 million. They're tearing them down, and they're putting up $12 million houses, $20 million houses. Now, don't get me wrong. You got to pay to play. More risk, more reward, right? But think about those numbers. You make more in one transaction than most people do.
And 20 of them.
In their entire life, though, right? Like, people don't make $1 million their entire life working for a company at $50,000 a year or whatever, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't make that money. You can make that in one transaction. So for me, what I want to do with my company, right? And this is the first time I'm actually on screen saying this, and I don't really care because it's free game at this point.
Right.
I want to create a vertically integrated ecosystem with 5 different revenue streams: junk removal, demolition, roll-off business, dumpster rental, transfer station, recycling facility. A ton of cardboard goes for $150 to $200 in China, right? All they do is recycle it and send it back. And everybody knows that because there's probably 10 Amazon packages sitting on my doorstep right now, right? My company generates this garbage regardless. So if I can figure out a way to take that garbage and make money off it 5 different times, I'm going to do it, right?
Yeah.
So that's those 5 different revenue streams vertically integrated that all live in the same ecosystem, right? They need one to operate with the other. They all mesh. The goal to that, though, is to create a development company.
Yeah.
Straight up, because I can do everything for less than my competition. The developer that doesn't have those resources can operate off a certain margin. I can operate off something totally different.
If you're doing the work.
And I'm getting paid. I'm paying myself to do it.
Yeah.
I'm paying myself for the dumpsters. I'm paying myself to dump. My competitors are hiring me to get rid of their waste, right? Whatever waste they generate, I recycle. So I'm getting paid off their waste. I'm
my
getting
buddy
paid
Stuart
off my waste.
Facada does that. He's got, it's the different of the tree debris, but it's the same thing, yeah. And then he turns the tree debris into mulch and has a mulching company that sells mulch to because he has the ongoing contracts with like 3 different municipalities, and so they're paying him to dump it, and he's getting paid to go put it back on their ground and
not even that, but he's getting paid to cut the tree down to begin with.
Yeah. Well, so he got out of that. He's just receiving the material now.
Okay, well, he figured out a way to streamline it, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that.
But just that permit for that facility is like, just to have a piece of property that has that permit already. It's gold,
printing money, right? And so the segue into what I'm saying is these 5 different revenue streams, whatever. I never had this vision when I started a year ago. I never had this vision. I was going to be the biggest junk removal company on the southeast coast of Florida. That was as big as my dream went at that point, right? Because I knew I'm able to do it. Now, seeing what type of revenue is floating around, how many people in the industry are doing it, the reason why I want to integrate those 5 revenue streams is because if I can cut out 2 out of the 3 biggest front-end expenses I have, which is dump fees and fuel, my third is labor. I'll never be able to cut that out, right? I pay my guys very well. But if I can cut out dump fees and labor, I can be that much more competitive, right? I can offer the get my foot in the door price and not have to eat it, meaning there's certain ways I bid jobs, but if it's a relationship that I really want to create, I'm going to come in at a different rate because I want to be able to get my foot in the door, right? I can showcase how we work, the attention to detail, the pride, the safety, the cleanliness, right? Consistency, reliability. But how am I supposed to get this guy who uses somebody else to trust me if I don't give him a little incentive? The incentive is, hey, I'll save you $5-10 grand on this project. But if I can cut out my 2 front ends, I'm not going to have to eat that $5 or 10 grand, right? Yeah. Because I throw a 7,500 gallon transfer tank on, either on a pad or in the ground at the transfer station. I fuel all my trucks there. It's a yard where I can house all my dumpsters, right? And my trucks in itself. And then I'm not paying your typical dump fee, right? And not only that, I'm offsetting my dump fees by my competition coming to dump. So
there's way more there too. There's
a lot
you get
more
into
there.
Concrete and crushing and screening material and all that.
Well, look at CMEX and look at the East Coast. I go and get Coastal. I mean Coastal is the end all be all.
They just bought another facility. It used to be All Star, and Palm Beach. And
Loman Genos are just, I
Yeah.
mean, that company is, that's
Yeah.
big. That you're talking big dog static, right? $78 million home on Palm Beach Island. I mean, there's people know that name everywhere. It's possible. That's what I'm saying. You just got to work at it. And like you said, I don't need to be a gazillionaire. I just need to know that when I swipe that card.
But in 10 years when it happens and you're like, well,
all right, it's
I
kind of
didn't
nice.
need to be,
but
but
I'm okay with it, right?
Yeah.
Like, but back to like, my wife goes and swipes a card. My wife wants to go here with the baby. My wife wants to go on vacation. She wants to try this new exercise class. I don't need to worry about what's in the account. I'm not going to be lazy or foolish with my money, right? But I just want.
Same. My wife wants something, she can go get it.
She go get it, and I never have to worry about if she's gonna. Sorry, honey, your card is declined. She hears that, that's never gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's what I want, man. Like, I want to be able to leave, and I talked about this on the first episode. I want to be able to leave this to somebody, and it doesn't necessarily mean my kids. My kids may not want to do what I'm doing, right? It's a dirty business. Private equity sale for me is something that's super cool, but is super scary. For the short term is cool, right? These guys are making millions and millions of dollars. Scaling their business in 5 to 10 years and selling to private equity. That's super cool. I see the long term nuclear war almost in a sense where enough of these small businesses that grow and scale and sell to private equity, when the guy like me or you who finally realizes he wants to be an entrepreneur and go out for himself, he's not going to be able to compete in any market, especially service-based businesses, plumbers, HVACs, electricians, drywall guys, you name it. These private equity companies are swallowing up these tradesmen because they know AI can't replace it, and especially not anytime soon, right?
Well, they're going to be doctors and lawyers paid here soon, too.
So what I'm saying is...
Well, it's a good time to be in what we're doing.
It is. For me, I would never sell to private equity. I won't do it because, like I said, these newer guys that are coming up that want to be entrepreneurs won't be able to compete. They won't have the marketing budget. They won't have the outreach. They won't have the infrastructure. They won't have the back-end coding. They won't have the Google optimization. They won't be able to compete in any of that. And now these conglomerates that own all these businesses that they bought operate at such a higher level.
Yeah, it's a different. Once they take it and then do what they do, like they don't even care if they make money or not. Like, so.
And that should tell you something right there. They don't even care if they make money or not. That should tell you something right there.
It might not even be that facility, but it's like even the big dogs that I compete with, like they're just taking jobs for cash flow. And just so they can stay survive.
How do you compete with that, though?
Yeah, I don't.
Right.
I don't. I mean, I try, but I just want to see if I'm close.
It doesn't feel good, though, to send in an offer.
If I'm $200,000 difference on a $37 million bid, we're doing something right.
Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, even if I'm competing, I know I'm there. We're there. So.
What I'm saying is for the private equity thing is it's cool. If you've already done it, great. God bless you.
Right.
More power to you. If you're looking to do it, great. I don't know many people that would have an offer on the table of $100 million and say no, thank you. Right. I don't know many people that would do that. But there's one individual, and I could shout him out. Harmony Air. He's been a real friend to me. He's built a extremely successful HVAC company based right out of Port St. Lucie. Jonathan Harmon, and U.S. vet, served for our country, has, I believe, 4 beautiful children and a wife, if I'm not mistaken. And we had this conversation the other day. He's like, I'll never sell. I don't care if they offer me $100 million. I'd rather make my $12 million a year. I won't do it. Just won't do it because it's not worth it for me. I want to, So it's like we could go down a whole nother 4-hour episode of private equity and buyouts and stuff like that. But back to the initial question, and we love going off on tangents. It's like, what's next for me? That's next for me, man. Like, my dreams just get bigger as my faith grows because I know that I'll always, I will never fail. I won't. in the short term, maybe. In the long term, impossible.
Right.
As long as I put my faith in him and live the way he wants me to live, and carry out his will and steward his money and steward his love, I'll never fail. I'll never fail. So why not dream big, right? And even if I dream that big and only get half of it, half more than what I would have
gotten if
settled.
you didn't, yeah.
Correct. You know what I mean? It's the corniest line in the book. Shoot for or aim for the moon and you land, whatever. However that saying goes, I don't even know what it is, but you've heard it a million times. It's cliche, it's corny, it's played out, but it's a saying that's been around since the beginning of time because it's true. Aim as high as you possibly can, and the worst that could happen is you land somewhere right here instead of just staying at the bottom.
And it's not like you're stuck there either. You're still
Right.
going.
You're still going. And the last thing I want to do is before we got this chaser water right here. Al Beltran. Yeah, I didn't want to mispronounce his last name. Al Beltran reached out to me. He said that he wanted to be a part of the beach cleanup in any way he could be. I know he just did a podcast with Jordan.
Yep.
Right? And
Got it right here. The
this
sparkling water.
So Johnny's got the sparkling water. I have the regular. It's Chaser Water Deep Sea Hydration, Supreme Hydration powered by Deep Sea Minerals, Ultra Premium Water. This is my first time ever tasting this water. We're gonna do it right here on the podcast if you don't mind. And I'll tell you guys how it is.
I'm a sparkling guy. That's my spot. That's my.
Yeah, but I mean, it just tastes like really good water. You know what I mean? It's definitely different, and I'm not just saying
some Gatorade minerals.
Yeah, I'm not just saying that because we're on camera.
Well, there's no Gatorade in the deep sea, but salt, sodium,
electrolytes, sodium. Yeah, what your body needs. People think
potassium.
People think salt is bad for you, but it's not.
It's necessary for muscle contraction and expansion.
There you go. Right. So the branding and the packaging and the can is super cool, super clean, very high end. Cellular level hydration, rich mineral content, enhanced absorption. Shameless plug to Al. Thank you for letting me use your platform to do it.
Yeah.
I know you don't care. It's all community, right?
100%.
The guy's a legend around here. Everybody knows who he is. He's been around here forever. And
Sailfish Brewery.
Right. Big shout out to Al Beltran, Chaser Water. If you guys come out May 30th to Maine Jensen Beach, Al will be there. And if he's not there, I know a bunch of cases of his Chaser Water will be. Al's a busy man, so this was a last-minute thing. And Al said he's going to give my company a couple of cases to keep on the truck, shoot some content with, because he just wants this to get out there. And judging by how this packaging and the way he chose to brand, branding is everything. Sam will tell you, right? Congruity and stuff. I can see this being in Walmart's, Publix's, Target's, Sam's Club.
I think it already is in a couple of them.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's what I don't know, but I don't see. It's going to be everywhere.
Yeah.
100%. This stuff tastes great. I mean, it's pretty cool that you have it here because I never had a chance to really taste it before.
I talked about it. I might let Jordan's die down a little bit first.
Cool.
But we spoke this week. We're definitely gonna link up this week. I'm leaving Thursday, so I'm gonna try to get in and have lunch with him at some point.
We got to link up him and I this week too. So.
But also, while we're on the subject of shouting stuff out,
please.
Iron Legacy Collective is coming June 17th. Personal development community in the area. A lot of folks have already been asking me about it. We just kind of launched it myself and Alex Plains, and I asked Paul to be a part of it as well. I want him to come on, and he's going to be a speaker there. I don't think he knows it yet or not.
I know now.
But he's going to kind of share on how, personal development has been shaped for him by people in his life, kind of like how you spoke of today.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be an honor and a privilege, brother. And however I can help you with this Iron Legacy Collective, I mean...
There's a need for it in this area. There's a need for people being in the right rooms, and it's not a networking event. It's iron sharpening iron in a nutshell, and we're gonna see. We set the date, so we're all in at
June
this point.
17th.
June 17th. It's a Wednesday night, Stuart, Florida, and more will be revealed. There's going to be a couple of more speakers that we're kind of keeping under wraps right now, but we're gonna reveal that here in the next week.
Jonnie put me on the spot.
You're in.
I
He
love
already
it.
told me he's in. So
Yeah, I mean, I told him I was in. I didn't know I was going to be a speaker, but I do now, and now I'm looking forward to it
yes, sir.
immensely. This is going to be super, super cool. Everything you touch kind of turns to gold, man. You know what I mean? You're driven, you're
Even
motivated.
if it doesn't.
I'm just saying, right?
Yeah.
Like what you're doing with the land development game. Now I know you guys started the
Started the shell division.
correct.
So we signed our 10th shell contract this week. We brought in a team of we got 2 supervisors now. We're building Dom Icavone's addition to his house right now. We got that contract signed.
No way.
Yeah, and
Dom's the man.
he is.
Dom is the man.
He's gonna be making an appearance to the Iron Legacy Collective as well. Not this one, but he will be there. And awesome people in the community, man, that are just killing it. Serial entrepreneurs, people who want to take it to the next level. I mean, that was one of the kind of slogans we wanted to put with it too, was that we level up. It's a we thing. So even and if you're in business for yourself, you'll never scale if you don't have a team in place. You can't work in your business and on it at the same time. So it's definitely building that the team, being an awesome leader, getting people to believe in you, to follow you, is important in any leadership capacity, any leadership role. And that's what we want to do, is develop that in this area. And don't know how it's going to happen, but we know that it's going to happen by allowing folks to just come together. So.
Yeah. If anybody doesn't follow Dom Iacavone, owner of Raw, and a lot of other businesses that I would probably take me a day to name, that guy is somebody that I follow.
Yeah.
And that I learn from a lot. I've had a couple of conversations with him. He's a man of few words, but
man of faith, good guy. Yeah. Definitely has his head on in a level where most people aren't. There's not a lot of people on this planet. On that.
Yeah. No. That I can absolutely wholeheartedly say. You can only strive for a tenth of that. You'd be great, right? I mean, look what he's built in 10 years. Yeah. Right? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
People were making fun of him for selling protein powder out of the back of the trunk of his car.
That's the way it starts, man. Everybody, it's like they don't believe you until you make it.
Right. And now he's got 10 different things firing on all cylinders. Bum Energy. He's got the raw nutrition, raw supplements. He's got the TRT. I mean, it's insane what this guy has done in 10 years. But that just goes to show a guy like me that if I put the effort in,
nothing's impossible for anybody.
Nothing's impossible, man.
So, he talked about it today too. I think there was one of the posts on the Lunetti page where he said that, when he was younger, he did detailing and pressure washing and all these things that, like, I can totally identify and get on board with, because that was me in the beginning as well. And, I'm not saying I'm in any space where I'm like a big dog or anything like that, but maybe I'm not giving myself enough credit. But there's still more to be done. There's always more to be done. There's always another level to get to. There's always another part of the game that you can get better at, that you can dial in on, and through technique and practice and mastering sections and levels of any type of business and life and relationships, and you're harnessing, being the best version of yourself with your, getting your body aligned with it as well. That's a big thing, and that's what we want to bring too, is that, listen, mind, body, and spirit is the most important thing that you can have as a human being.
Without that, nothing else is going to stick, to be honest with you, right? And he's a firm believer in legacy too.
Yes.
From the very few conversations I've had, look at that ranch he's building. He's building this crazy ranch.
Yeah.
I mean, you could only, it's just so cool to see what guys are capable of doing when they really put their, they align their mind, body, and spirit, like you said. They put their mind to it. They're faithful, and they just go. They don't stop. The guy has no off switch.
That's it.
Right?
Well, I think I think he said something about, like, he was cutting it off at like 45 or something like that. That was but at that point, I mean, your money will be your cash flow. Everything you've built will be
just feed
what you can live on for generations to come.
Correct. And he says he's going to cut her off at 45, but we'll see.
I'm the same way, man. Like, I have a certain, like, time period where, like, I want to be retired, but you can only go on vacation so long. You can only go to so many places in the world before with the mindset like mine and like the energy that I bring is it like I'll always be working on something.
Right. It may not be physical.
Yeah.
Right.
I was talking to a 60-year-old guy that we had on here last week, and David Gutman. He just stuff keeps coming up to him where he's like, well, I was retired, but I'm not anymore. And like now he's like,
turns back on.
And because people get brought into your life, they're like, will you just do this with me? Like, and he's like, yeah, well, I wasn't gonna, but my wife talked me into it because she wants to see him. That's where he flourishes. That's where you see somebody in their zone of where they're, where they just are glowing, and like that's what they're supposed to be doing in life, and you can't let that purpose go to waste. And dude, awesome conversation.
Oh,
man.
this episode was huge. This episode was huge. I can't thank you enough for having me on again.
If you guys aren't following him yet, we're going to put all of his links in the bio because, like I said, awesome content. If you guys are, on board with anything that's going on with Discipline and Legacy, you'll definitely be on board with what he has and what if you haven't already figured it out. But definitely hit the subscribe button.
Yes.
If you haven't hit the subscribe button yet for us. And what do you got to say? I love it.
I think that I'll probably be on here again next year.
Let's do it.
And I think this will be a way for Jonnie and I to track growth in all areas of life. Because from our first conversation to our second, we've already seen the growth. And then from our second, God willing, to our third and fourth and fifth, it'll be a way for us to kind of sit back and watch ourselves from a third person perspective and say, wow, like, I can't believe I said that. Or I can't, you know what I mean? Like,
remember when I said that? Guess what? It happened.
Right. And like, but it's recorded. It's set in stone.
This is true legacy. This is your daughters, my son, 20 years after I'm gone, will be able to come back and see. Like our great grandkids will be able to get a glimpse of what their great grandfather was. And
absolutely, man. This is on the record.
That's it.
Anything I said today or before or on the next one is on the record. I'm an open book. I may not feel the same way about certain things next year, or I may be more passionate, or my life could be completely different. I can get an opportunity next year and say, I'm done with the trash and the demo. I got this going on now. Who knows, right? But it's a good measure. It's a good gauge to get on, sit down with a guy that's super similar and aligned in a lot of different ways, with what I want and what I have going on, and then just talk about it like men and just hash it all out, be honest, be
drinking chaser water,
being vulnerable, telling truth. And the only reason why we do any of this, right, is to inspire other men, people in general, but men specifically, because everybody has it in them. If you feel like you don't, you just haven't.
And mark my words, if you ever get to a point where you have a level of success or have grown to a certain point, you will want to help others.
Correct.
Plain and simple. There's no other way around it.
No other way around it, brother.
Thanks again for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you on the next episode. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you. God bless.